I'm recording.
Yeah, I'm recording too.
I'm recording.
I'm recording.
I'm recording.
Yeah?
You recording?
I'm recording.
I'm recording.
Yeah, I'm recording too.
You recording?
Just got past 12 seconds now. Let's go.
Hello and welcome back to Horror Month. You recording? All month long, Vince and I have been reviewing. I was about to say we've been recording.
I'm recording.
Halloween just for you, but we haven't. We've been reviewing Halloween.
Yeah, I'm recording too.
And now we've gotten to
Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, rated R.
However, don't get too excited because we're not going to review 666 because it's such a huge disc. We're going to leave it for the next review. But so for this one, we're just going to talk about Part 6. All right, Vince, I got to tell you something now.
I'm recording.
What? I got to tell you something, Vince.
Yeah?
You recording?
Tara never rests in peace.
What?
Tara never rests in peace.
I got to tell you something, Vince.
Okay.
So I put this disc in and I started watching it.
That's usually what happens when you put a disc into the machine.
However, Vince, when I started watching this, do you know what I come to realize?
What, pray tell, did you come to realize, Dave?
I've never seen Halloween 6.
What? Are you serious?
I am serious. I have never seen this movie.
You should know that it's not wise to play Halloween pranks on me.
Wow. Holy crap.
You recording?
Actually, I guess I shouldn't be too surprised because there was a lot of people out there that didn't see this movie. And I know that because I went to the theaters to see it and there was like 10 people in there the whole time.
It's like, how do I miss a Halloween movie? How does that happen? It don't happen, Vince. How does that happen?
I'm recording.
Now it has bothered me all these years, Vince. All these years that this has bothered me. The fact that they show this guy in a black hat and spurs in the last movie, and all these years I've wondered to myself, why had they never done anything with that character? Who was that character? Whatever happened to that character? I've always wondered about that. I'm not joking. You remember when I called you like a month ago, and I said to you, Vince, I've always wondered what happened to that guy, and you said, well, they tell you in Part 6, and I thought to myself, huh?
And I said that because I thought you had seen Part 6.
No, I've never seen this movie. I've never seen this film, Vince.
Okay.
Because I sat here was watching it with my wife, and I'm like, what's going on? For whatever reason, I thought they went from 5 straight to H2O. And somehow, and I looked it up, and this came out in 1995, and I'm like, what was I doing in 1995 that I didn't go see this movie? I have no idea.
I'd like to know that.
Me too. It's like, I don't understand. It was a brand new film for me, Vince. It was like, it was truly one of the weirdest experiences I've had watching a movie ever. It's kind of like not seeing a Star Wars film, like missing one of the chapters somewhere.
And not to compare it to Empire Strikes Back, but that's what it would be like, right? Like going from A New Hope to Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, it's just so weird. I'm like, well, finally, at least now I know who these guys were and wearing the black hats and stuff. Now it makes more sense.
I wouldn't go that far.
I just thought that they threw that storyline out. I thought they ended it in 5 because it was so bad, and then they rebooted it.
That part where you said that where it makes much more sense. I wouldn't go that far.
Well, no, it makes sense now to find out who these people were. I mean, it's like, I had no idea. I even told Becky before we started watching it, it's like, you know, these guys with the spurs on, I've always found them interesting, but they never did anything with these guys. That's like, that was just so weird. Apparently I was wrong.
The biggest problem with this movie that this movie has, because it's actually directed pretty well. I like the way they did it. The biggest problem this movie has, it's coming off that crap fest of Halloween 5. And it's trying to explain what happened in there. It spends 45 minutes at least trying to explain all the crap that happened in Halloween 5 before it actually gets to what they're trying to do in Halloween 6.
What? Well, I mean, I didn't mind that because, again, this was the first time seeing this movie. I thought it was interesting. I mean, I kind of liked where they were going with Michael and the whole cult thing. I've watched all these within within a week. I mean, I watched them back to back to back to back, and it was really interesting to see where he came from the beginning of the film to now. I'm just like, okay, he was a guy who was in a mental institution. Oh no, he was part of this cult called the Thorn that he was born into, and that, you know, he's sacrificing all these people because he's pure. And it's like, wow, they're really looking for storyline here, because what else are they going to do exactly? I mean, they don't have any other ideas. They ran it into the ground basically.
But Dave, what I'm getting at is all that stuff that happens in the first 40 minutes of the film means absolutely nothing by the time it gets to the end.
They had to establish what happened to the kid character in the beginning of it. I mean, that was the whole point of the beginning of it, was that was supposed to be her big sequence of what her continuation from part 5. I mean, she's grown up now, and she has the kid, and then what's the guy's name that finds the kid?
Paul Rudd.
Yeah, Paul Rudd finds the kid. I mean, he goes to the bathroom and finds the kid in the bathroom. So yeah, I mean, it needed to be in there. I found it kind of cool.
For one thing, they took the character of Tommy Doyle from the original Halloween, and they gave him something that basically he was kind of taken over as Donald Pleasant's part. It's really what they were trying to do with him.
What?
Michael's trying to find the baby, because that's Michael's thing anyway from the very beginning, was that he was tracking down his family.
What?
And now he's going after the Strodes.
What?
So he's going after the uncle and his family.
What?
And that doesn't make any damn sense, because they had nothing to do with Michael to begin with.
You recording?
And then they're trying to explain the whole Man in Black thing.
Let me say this about the movie. I liked the first half of the film a lot. The whole thing in the town. I really liked the DJ idea where the shock jock comes. I love that. That was such a great, fresh idea. Really fun. The whole first half of this movie was really good. Up until the point where they drugged Dr. Loomis and Tommy Doyle that stole the people and took them to the Temple of Doom. That's the second half of the film. Yeah, that's where I was like, what is going on here? I still didn't know what happened. After the movie was over, I still didn't know what happened.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm getting at, Dave. I totally agree with that. Like I said, it's coming off this crappy Halloween 5, and it's trying to explain what happened in there. It seemed like once it got on track, it started to explain it, and then something changed. And it went into some other gear, and then the last half of the movie is just, it makes no sense whatsoever. All of a sudden, Michael is in this operating room, and he's just slaughtering people.
Yeah, well, what? Why was he in there? What is he doing? Who's he killing? Why is he doing it? And then, you know, all that whole sequence, that was like, huh? What just happened?
Just suddenly he, like, explodes and starts killing people, and you know what? I didn't mind that. It was kind of cool, but at the same time, it just didn't make sense.
And then the very end, where they beat him with a pipe, and then they inject him with some kind of weird crap
that they don't explain what it is at all. They keep showing these hypodermic needles, and they don't. And it's got this green goo in it, and it doesn't. They don't say what it is.
Yeah, none of that made sense. But the thing about this film was, I liked the characters in the film. I liked all the actors. I liked the characters. I liked the story up until they went to the Temple of Doom.
I remember coming out of the theater after seeing this and going, well, it was better than Part 5, but it's still not there. You know, I really hope they don't go on with this Thorn thing. And that's exactly what I kept thinking the entire time. But the saddest part, Dave, this was Donald Pleasant's not only last time as playing Dr. Loomis, but his last film.
You can tell he was bad in this film. He was bad off. He could hardly talk.
He was looking rough, but at the same time, it was like, I've always loved that character. He's one of my favorite characters in all of the Halloween films, is Dr. Loomis. And you know, it was sad to see him. He's not going to be there no more. You know, he died just before the movie came out.
What are you going to give this film? Oh, we should tell you about the amazing extras on this disc. We got trailers, TV, and still gallery. That's it.
But the trailers? Okay, well, they show the theatrical trailer, but they also show at least, 35 TV spots. I was like, oh my God, how many of these are on here? There had to be at least 15.
So as an overall, because I ain't really going to review the extras because there ain't nothing here to review. But just to review this film, Halloween 6, being it's the first time I've ever seen it. It's brand new to me. I never knew it existed. I thought it went from 5 to H2O. And I even seen the cover. I looked at the cover, Vince, and I'm like, oh yeah. It's like, I know this cover. Never seen the movie. I don't know. I don't know what happened. But overall film, I would have to give a 3 out of 5.
Like I said, I saw this movie in the theaters, and seeing it here, which once again, I have to say, because this was a Scream Factory disc actually, and I would say Scream Factory actually did a good job putting this movie and this disc together, because the transfer itself looks phenomenal. The sound is phenomenal in it. It's just, I really wish they would have done a little more as far as extra features, but I liked it. I liked the movie. I liked the disc. I liked it better than Part 5. So overall, I would give the movie itself a 3 out of 5.
At this point in the franchise, I think they were just trying to grasp for straws. I think they were just trying to milk the franchise and do anything, because they didn't have any clue what they were doing anymore, which is obvious from this film.
Part 5 messed things up so bad that they just were trying so hard to recover from it. And once again, they changed his mask again.
His mask wasn't too bad in this film. It was all right.
At least it looked somewhat like 4, at least.
And that's the thing that kind of drives me crazy, is they based all the masks from 4 up until Rob Zombie's film off of Halloween 4. Because every time you watch one of these things, they say that a COD guy wants it to look like Part 4. He loved the 4 mask for whatever reason.
Not from the movie, not Part 4 from the movie. He liked it from the poster, which was the poster was basically based on the original hockey mask. The original hockey mask. Whoa.
Vince, you're crossing the streams here, Vince. You know not to cross the streams.
The William Shatner mask is what I meant to say.
Alright, so now the next disc is the big one. Halloween 666. And let me tell you, it is a big change. Big change from this movie. It's not a little tiny little change here. Big change.
You'll want to see that review. That's the thing. You'll want to see our next review. And until then, you must subscribe to our site. You must subscribe to Facebook. You must like us on Facebook. You must do these things. You must do it.